Welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, no, that shit is not going to work for me. So I'll come up with something eventually. But welcome to Paige's Perspective. So I'm Paige. I'm the spouse of a recovering addict, but I'm so much more than that. Honestly, I probably won't even say that very often because it doesn't really show my individuality. If you're new here, welcome. This is an additional segment from our Wednesday episodes. I asked the Wheelie community if they'd like for me to do some episodes without Matt's involvement, and many of you said yes. So here we are. Each Friday, hopefully, I will release a short episode of just me talking to you, which is a bit weird because typically Matt does all the damn talking. So the topics are going to vary, but I want to focus a bit on the empowering piece of our process because with the episodes with my husband, we tend to keep it on the validation and educational side. You know, you get both sides of our stories, understanding addiction and the behaviors and how they harmed us and all that fun stuff. But I want to shift it a bit with my episodes. Sometimes we need to build you up so you can recognize the freaking badasses you are. I have met some of the most amazing people within the last year. You know, people who don't give themselves enough credit and who don't realize how damn strong they truly are. If you're listening, this might be you. You might feel broken. You might feel stuck. You might feel lost. You might feel punished. You might feel guilty. You might feel so many uncomfortable feelings and you just don't know what to do. I feel you. I was you. I've been there and it is difficult, but damn it, you will push through this. So there was a post recently where someone had posted a quote in our community that really spoke to me. And I felt the need to make it my first mini episode based around this. So the quote came from a Kathy B. Overman, and I believe she's a licensed counselor. She said, "There is nothing wrong with you. In the absence of emotional validation, you may question if you are broken. You have wounds. You have unmet needs. You have hurts. You have poor coping skills. You have fears. None of these change your inherent worth." God, y'all, this is a big deal. So just hold on to this. So many times we lose touch with our instincts in these relationships and we question everything we do. We become someone we don't even freaking recognize anymore. We stop living by our values. And when this happens, we feel broken. We feel as though we can't make our own decisions to create the life we truly want. Please, guys, please understand this. You are not broken. You are not broken. The person you want to be is within you. You will find that person. You may not have known that person. You know, you may have forgotten who that person was, but that person is there and you will thrive, even if it feels absolutely impossible right now. You are so much stronger than you think. And I know sometimes we get really freaking annoyed with being the strong one, but hear me out here, okay? It's not what you think. Being strong doesn't mean that we just deal with shit and suck it up. Nope. Being strong means that we will do anything to push ourselves to be the best versions of ourselves possible. It's educating ourselves. It's crying and feeling and recognizing our reality. It's learning what we will and will not tolerate. It's setting boundaries. It's learning when to friggin' rest. It's learning what works and what doesn't. That is growth. And if you're listening to this podcast, you're pretty damn strong. I will tell you that right now. You just may not feel it yet, but you will, I promise you. And you may have some days where you feel it and some days where you're like, oh shit, who am I today? But there will be a balance one day. You just got to keep pushing through. So many times in these relationships where we feel really unheard and invalidated. And we've discussed how this can damage us within these relationships. But I want to encourage you to block the noise from a partner who doesn't hear you, who doesn't see you, who only invalidates you. I know this is easier said than done, but we cannot change them, but we can change ourselves. And I'm not talking about changing our personality or our expectations because shit, y'all, we are allowed to have expectations to have our needs met. We just need to realize that our partners may not be capable of meeting our basic freaking needs. And that sucks. That sucks. I hear you. I feel you. But I'm talking about finding ourselves again, recognizing that we do have choices and that we cannot get through to someone who isn't willing to hear us. So I kind of want to switch it to instincts for just a second, because your instincts are really strong. I promise you, they are there. They're there for a reason. They're going to help guide you through any shitstorm that you may find yourself in. And sometimes it takes doing something completely different than what we would typically do to understand where we stand. Because if we're doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, we know that that is a definition of insanity. I did this for many years, but once we start learning to listen to our instincts again, by doing things differently, it's going to be a little uncomfortable. It's not going to feel as peaceful as you think it is. It's going to be difficult, but it's necessary. So I lost touch with my instincts for a long time because I had a partner who invalidated my feelings. He'd tell me I'm too sensitive or it's not a big deal. And he'd minimize things. And when this would happen, I would question my instincts like crazy because I'd listen to him. This was my partner. I wanted to take his words and think, okay, well, maybe he's right. Maybe I need to do something. But each time he would do this to me, my intuition would scream at me. It was like a jolt in my body. Like, how dare you invalidate me? So look, y'all, like we all have disagreements with people and we try to challenge each other. But when emotions are involved and we've been harmed, the feeling is going to be really powerful. And each time somebody invalidates them, each time I would feel invalidated, I felt so broken. Like I got to a point where I would lock myself in my bathroom to just cry so hard that I'd hyperventilate. And I always felt like something was just so wrong with me. I'm like, why do I have to be like this? Why can't I just change? But y'all, nothing was wrong with me. Nothing was wrong with me. I'd been harmed and I didn't know how to cope or trust my instincts. So when I got into therapy, my therapist helped me realize that I wasn't crazy, that I didn't need to necessarily be fixed. I needed to just learn how to trust my gut again. So there's nothing wrong with you. You've probably been hurt. Next time you have a partner who invalidates your emotions, again, block the noise. It's not up to them to tell you how to feel. They don't get to control your emotions or feelings. Even if the emotions feel irrational, they're there and we have to let them out in a safe space. When we're invalidated, we're going to bottle up these emotions, and that is not healthy. Eventually, they're going to come out in super unhealthy ways, like just super powerful anger or all different ways that just very uncomfortable. And if we don't have a safe space within our partner to just let them out, the relationship may need to be reevaluated because it can cause harm to us over time. But in the meantime, as you're building yourself up, let out your feelings in the community, with a therapist, or even like with a fellow wheelie who gets it. Connect with somebody. We don't release our emotions or feelings to get someone to change their mind about something. Sometimes I see how this message may get skewed and we think that we can share our emotions so we get what we want. No. That's not how this works. It's kind of manipulative. The reason we release our emotions, it's for us. It's to be heard. It's to be understood. It's to have someone there to comfort us and make us feel safe, not someone who bashes us for feeling a certain way. Like I do this with my children. They come to me with the way that they're feeling, and it may be an irrational feeling. It may be like, oh, why you shouldn't feel that way. Like that's automatically what we may want to say, but all they need is for us to be there for them as a safe space, for them to be able to process those emotions and feelings with their parents so that they can calm down. So let's say that I'm overwhelmed by just life in general. Life can be overwhelming sometimes. Shit happens. We can feel so overwhelmed that we don't even know what to do. So back in the day, if I say something to Matt and he'd tell me to basically get over it, push through, why are you anxious, blah, blah, blah. And I know he was trying to fix my emotions, but that's not necessarily what I needed. I needed someone to basically just say, hey, I understand. I'm here for you. If you need anything, what can I do to help you? That's it. That's validation. When this happens, I would get relief and I'm able to conquer things easily because I feel less alone. We all need space to talk. When we fight the feelings, we feel like something is wrong with us. We feel like, oh man, you know what? I just shouldn't feel this way. But we do feel this way. This is reality. And it doesn't mean it's completely rational, but it's there. We have to acknowledge the feeling. I'm not broken for feeling how I feel. We shouldn't have to tiptoe or walk on eggshells in a relationship because we fear speaking our mind. For me, when I release my irrational, I'm putting those in like air quotes because irrational can be one thing to some person and another thing to another. But when I release those feelings or thoughts with someone safe, I feel like I can get through the uncomfortable feelings easier. I don't hold on to them for too long. And then there's growth because I'm able to recognize my feelings as just feelings. No judgment. I allow them to go through me and try not to overanalyze them because then I can get stuck in the feeling for too long. So if you're feeling broken, unsure of yourself, unable to process whatever it is you're feeling, you're not alone. You're not broken, y'all. Your feelings matter and you deserve to have a safe partner. If your partner isn't a safe space for you, make yourself your safe space when you can't get in touch with anyone else. Journal your thoughts and feelings, meditate, and acknowledge that you matter too. You freaking matter. You don't need your unstable partner telling you how you should feel. You can tell yourself, it's okay to feel how I feel. Validate yourself when they can't validate you. To help yourself feel worthy, or maybe a quick journal entry, I would encourage you to write down about 10 things you believe are true about you. 10 amazing things that make you feel good. Many times we'll fill our heads with so much negativity and we start talking bad about ourselves and we forget that we are full of wonderful traits. There are good things within us. We got to focus on those strengths and shift our mindset to not believe what others say about us. I know this is hard. I freaking get it, and it's going to take practice. But many of us try hard to find our part. But the main part is that we allow others to control us and who we are. We can crawl out of it, y'all, and say no more. No one gets to dictate who you are as a person. You have control there. So when this podcast ends, I want you to feel a bit more empowered. I want you to recognize that you're not broken. You aren't in desperate need to be fixed. You are capable of so much in this life, and what you've been through does not define you. It does not define you. These situations will have your head spinning like crazy. But quit trying to understand your partner and start understanding yourself. You are so much more than a spouse of an addict or an alcoholic. And these episodes are going to be much shorter than our Wednesday episodes, a bit longer than a TikTok video, but short enough to give you an extra pep in your step. You are not powerless and you will trust yourself again. I want these to be more about life in general and how to help you build yourselves up to find yourself again. So until next time, I'm Paige. Bye.